All right, we here with the brother Gorilla Hebrew and the brother off camera, Hassan Karab, right?
What's up?
Yeah, that was boring as a motherfucker. Listen, we here, the Cowboy's here, Al-Azhar's here. We're finna get into some very heavy topics. If you ain't liked and shared the video already, you and your mama, y'all both going to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some shit to talk about tonight, nigga. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything before we go straight into it? We're trying to go straight in.
All praise to the Most High. Let's go in.
All praise to the Most High.
All right, let's go in, man. We coming off a powerful weekend, bro. Brothers been outside all week. Before the weekend even started, brothers been outside.
Been outside that a week straight.
A week straight.
For sure in these Atlanta streets. For sure.
Right. It got to the point we heard this man, hey, I ain't gonna lie. One of these days I wanted to go home. Now, if we know anything about this man,
I don't he's going home.
No, he don't go home. He's outside, all right?
For sure.
Them boys are outside. So let's get right into it because there's a lot to talk about, right? So we have the sister, right? The widow of King Von.
Yeah.
Right. First we're going to go into the situation, right? There was a situation where a body cam footage had released. Now, me personally, I think these police officers are real shiesty for even doing this.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and it's funny how they time release things, like how things just come out. Guys got to watch it now. They got them body cams, and yeah, them body cams, they're helpful as far as they letting us see what the police is doing, but also they going to hurt some of y'all that be folding up under that pressure in front of them people, man, for sure.
Yeah, so they know what they doing. They just... You know, is they gang versus your gang, bro, at the end of the day. Yep. So we have the situation with King Von where he was caught on body cam footage, right? And he's basically saying he don't want to be around a certain individual in the jail cell and want to go to PC. Let's just stop right there first.
Protective custody.
So what all the rappers in the song say? I'm never on PC. I'm never this. I'm in the population.
I'm just such a gangster.
Right?
I'm such a thug. I keep it so G. I'm never lacking. You know, he's America's favorite serial killer. Black America's favorite serial killer.
On
allegedly.
PC.
And he's demanding to go in protective custody, and he's telling it because, you know, he's saying that because of his sexual orientation, he wants to go into protective custody.
What did 50 Cent say in Piggy Bank?
You don't want it with me? He in PC. Talking about Shine.
So do you think that he was? Do you think he was lying?
I don't think he's a homosexual.
Okay.
I think that is, and that once he says that, he's forcing them to put him in PC because by saying that, you know, basically they're at risk of a lawsuit if they are being, you know, discriminative or using any hate practices towards, you know, people of the LGBT. So that's a great way to get put in BC, say, you know, your sexual orientation, because they got to put those people in protective custody, right? So it was a great way. I don't think that means he's gay. I think he just really wanted to be protected.
He wanted to live.
He wanted to live. See, because it's the thing, like, again, everybody's hyped this dude up and glorified him for, you know, being a genocidal maniac towards other black people. But the facts are, like a lot of these guys, without a gun, they're afraid. Without a gang with them, without people with them, they are afraid. So if they're in a situation where they ain't got no homies with them, they ain't got no weaponry, they cannot stand on their own 2 feet. You know, unless, of course, they feel like the individual who they're coming against is weak, which I think is kind of what led up to his actual death, was his perception of Quando Rondo. Like, Quando Rondo was a weak person that he could physically have an advantage over, so he just ran up on him and started beating him, and then that ended up leading to his death. I don't think he's running up on a lot of other people. Like, for example, he wouldn't run up on Duck and do that. He wouldn't try that with Duck. Duck has size on pretty much all of the other drill guys. He wouldn't try that on Duck. You see what I'm saying? He was with Duck. My sexual orientation, I want to go to protective custody. He would have pulled that move if they'd have put him on the deck with Duck, I believe, for sure.
Do we know who he was basically allegedly hiding from?
As of this point, I don't know.
Nobody know.
I don't know. I mean, but, you know, he's putting K behind a lot of stuff, so ain't no telling for real.
And we see 4 things that was wrong with that. First was the protective custody. And the 3 things that he said after that.
Which were what?
First thing he said, of course, like you said, he don't want to be in there because they don't mess with gay people. So the police clarified, so you don't want to go in there. You want to go into PC based on your sexual orientation, right? That's the first problem. He's admitting to be gay.
Yeah.
That's the second problem, man.
Yeah.
It was PC, then it was the reason, right? Then King Von, out of his mouth, said he was gonna. I could curse, right?
Yeah.
Fuck another nigga.
Wow.
Hold on, that's what he said.
Yeah, let's play the video.
I realize I played it.
Yeah, we can play it.
I have to play it. I have to play it. Right, let me pull it up right quick.
So he freaky as hell is what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Damn.
Right, but that's not all. Hold on. I think I seen it on your page. Oh, here we go. Let's just play it right quick.
Got a problem, lady. They supposed to be a Christian, but they got a problem with gay people.
So, hold on. I wish I could pause it. Hold on. So, in that part, he said they Christian, they have a problem with gay people. Right?
So, I just start that right there. I want you to understand, it's slick telling what he's doing. Because when he said that Christian have a problem with gay people, he's basically saying those are GDs they got a problem with, or not even necessarily GDB thing, but whoever they is, they don't get along with the people where I'm from. That's what he's saying in a coded way.
They'll hurt me.
This is what we call a PC move. As a gangster, as a killer, as somebody who glorified death, murder, gangbanging, the destruction of his own community, as somebody who did that, you don't get to do this. Exactly. You don't get a pass for this. And this be the stuff I'm talking about with this lack of accountability and effeminization of things. You know, if you're somebody, right, who wants to change your life from a life of crime, you want to be a productive member of society, you want to give your life to God, any of those things, right? It's not respected if you do it when you get caught, right? Like as soon as you get caught, now you don't want to be a street dude, now you want to snitch on people. As soon as you get caught, you go to jail, now you want to go to protective custody and give your life to God. No. That's not how this thing works. That's not respectable. The respectable thing to do is you've now come to the conclusion, hey, I don't want to get involved in this BS anymore, but I'm taking accountability and responsibility for my actions. So I'm going to take the consequence of my actions, and after that's complete, when I'm released back into society, I'm going to be a functional member. I'm going to be a civilian. I'm not going to be in the streets. I'm not going to commit crime. I'm going to give my life to God. But you got to deal with your consequences first. And I'm just not somebody who's talking from inexperience, right? I knew, the Lord showed me this Hebrew Israelite thing and what I need to do. I still played in the streets. I eventually go to jail for it. I wasn't in jail turning phase down. I wasn't in jail talking about go to protective custody, right? I was in jail, general population, mainlining, high power, right? With the gangbangers. I'm on a tier with people who are facing murder charges. It is what it is.
Right.
And I know when I get out of here that I need to act like the Most High showed me something better by following the better path in which he showed me. I don't need to start running from my responsibility and not take accountability for my actions that landed me there, which is me consistently playing in the street after I knew better then too. So we don't respect these PC moves. None of that. It's unrespectable. Y'all praise him and bow down to him based on the fact that he's an alleged serial killer. But these what these niggas be doing these what these niggas be doing, man. Mama raised. A lot of these niggas is mama raised and really hoes for real. And if they don't have an extended clip and a bunch of niggas with them, their heart it vanishes. It vanishes, right? And it's being exposed. That's all. Right? Go ahead.
God, so he just exposed another problem, and it just brought up 6 other problems that I'm thinking about based on that. He's snitching, right?
He's basically telling.
So King Von is a snitch.
Roundabout, he's just like going this round. They don't like gay people. Come on, bro.
King Von is a snitch, okay? So we're going to play it again.
Where's the former at? It's the only thing I've been on because got a problem, lady. They supposed to be a Christian, but they got a problem with gay people. How you going to be Christian?
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody, is that correct?
Yes.
So that's when the cop confirmed, because of your sexual orientation, That's why you asking for protective custody. And he said yes. So King Von is admitting to being gay.
Wow.
Right?
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Ballad Josh.
Now, he
Ballad Josh?
he's in waves zesty as hell. Like Bala Josh, like a homosexual. This is on body footage, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you see it, right?
Ballad Josh.
Wow.
Now watch this. He blew him a kiss.
Uh-huh. And it's funny, billionaire black. But you remember that billionaire black line aside? He said, Von, you a nigga or a bitch, boy, you dyke as hell.
Right? So check this out.
Uh-huh.
I'ma fuck you too.
See, so but what he's doing is he's afraid of meeting these guys physically. So he's basically asking to go to PC, making an excuse. And what he's saying is, when he said, I'm a F you too, he's threatening to kill him. He's speaking in his coded language, but basically what he's saying is, I can't see none of you niggas head up, so when we get out of here, I'm going to try to murder one of you guys. This is what he's actually doing. But there's nothing gangster about that, right? There's other ways he could have got out of that situation without having to say that he needs protective custody because he's gay. There's other ways to get out of that situation, right? Number one, just start taking off on shit. That's the number one way to do it. These niggas gonna just start getting off. The police gonna come in. They're gonna break it up. They're gonna move you. They're gonna separate you anyway, right? You can come up with some type of medical excuse. That's what niggas be doing in jail to get out of stuff without having to tell on people. Medical excuses, getting off on people first, doing this. I need to go to PC because I'm, you know what I mean? Nah, bro. Yeah. And then saying all that, making the threat. Nah, bro. That's not respectable. That's not gangster. And y'all are only gonna make excuses for him because you like him. It's that simple.
Yeah, and what's bothering me is that, you know, he had time to think about what excuse he wants to come up with to try to get into PC. Like, you just came up with something in about 26 seconds. There's no way that he didn't have time to think of, like, all the things that he can do. Because he had to think of, he had to think, prior to him getting there, I can't go to general population. I have to go to PC. So what can I do to get into PC?
But check this out, the last little bit.
Nah.
So that's
yeah, nah.
That's out of King Von's mouth.
That's your favorite serial killer. Asian doll, you went and got the man tattooed on you. And this what, you see what I'm saying? Like, and then Asian doll's comments, she said, clearly none of y'all been to jail. Like,
hello, I'm gonna read it for you. It
please.
said, niggas never been to jail and it's showing.
No, you've never been to jail. You've never been to jail. That what he did is called a PC move. That makes him a mark, a punk. As they would say in Chicago, a goofy, a Bruford, all in various things. That's what that make him from pulling that move. You cannot be an active gangster, active gangbanger, and do things. You can't even be an inactive gangbanger, gang member, and do something like that. When you do that, what do they call you? Now you're a dropout. They call you a dropout at that point, right? That he went to protect. He stopped it. He went to great lengths to get protected from people. That's not what gangsters do. Gangsters don't do that.
That's a great length.
Went to a great length, even acted gay in order to be believable to the police so they could protect him from his ops. That ain't gangster, bro. Go ahead.
Without the inkster, it is that. Without the inkster.
Without the angster, it's just the gay part?
It's 100%. But it's, the police already confirmed. So you're telling me because of your sexual orientation you need PC? He said yes. So he's already. Why are you going above and beyond? Why are you being a flamboyant boy? And you know what I mean?
Why are you acting like you're with men?
Well, white or you gay? You know what I'm saying? What the African niggas
Are
say.
you doing stuff?
Yeah, are you doing stuff?
you-
Cause that, bro. Cause that, I ain't gonna lie to you, like that. That's really crazy, bro. That's some of the craziest stuff I ever seen. Is that for a video? I would have never imagined that something like that came out. That right there is crazy. And how is that okay? How is that okay? In the realm of gangsterdom, but the problem is that the definitions and the rules, that the goalposts is constantly moved because people play favoritism, and this is just why we need the Bible so much. This is why Black and Hispanic people need a strict code of conduct given to us by God that we follow without fail, because without it now we have these rules, these rough set of rules and regulations that we can constantly just change at our leisure to fit for whatever reason to respect persons. And that's how we get a deterioration of our culture and society, right? Because we do not have a strict set of rules that we're all observing collectively and a standard in which we're holding all of each other to. You're not allowed to do that and be a gangster. I guarantee you people are still going to have the general consensus that he's some type of gangster, and they're going to exalt this dude. Right? For what reason? He's being exalted literally for his ability to kill Black people, allegedly.
Basically.
We got to think about that, right? But he's going to protective custody. You see what I'm saying? So it's letting you know something, because, like, here's what y'all got to understand. Scary niggas kill people. Niggas who are scared have the potential to be killers because they're afraid. The same way a possum can bite you and give you, what's that stuff they give you? Rabies. Mm-hmm. Because possums don't bite you because they're ferocious predators, the kings of the world. They bite you because they're scared of you, right? That's the same thing going on with Von and a lot of these kids out here that's going hyped up and killing people. They're afraid. So they have to have their gun and they want to shoot people because they're afraid. They can't just go toe-to-toe with people. They have to have their gun. And that's clear, or else he wouldn't need PC in that situation, right? I done been on a tier and had to fight individuals who had, they whole hood had numbers on that tier. I was by myself on that tier, right? As a man of God, a Bible teacher on the tier, did I turn something on? You come in my cell and we can do it now, right? Just because that's manhood, and that's what gangsters do. They don't go start clicking and telling the guard, "Hey man, they in here, man. I'm gay. They don't like gay people." That's not what gangsters do, bro. CO. Gangsters don't do that, bro. At all, right? That's some BS. But guess what? People are gonna make excuse. Asian dog, y'all and niggas ain't never been to jail. No, niggas been to jail. And we know what that is. And again, now that gay stuff, that's crazy as hell. But it ain't even really about that. It's about requesting to go to protective custody.
Exactly.
I done seen dudes with canes, glasses, and wheelchairs refuse protective custody. Right? Knowing they was going to run into people. My little homie right now in prison. He just broke his hand on a nigga head. Did he go into protective custody? In fear of retaliation, man, they gonna get back with me and my hand is broke. So I went to, nah, damn that, bro. That's out.
And then on top of that, I just want to know, do you think that members of his gang are going to justify this?
Some of them are, but I'm going to be real. The way them politics is going right now, from what I've seen, what they're making public, it's divides amongst them. It's different divisions amongst them right now. You have a division with, from what I understand, from what I've gathered, from watching, 16 shot them, academics, guys like that. It's a divide between, there was something called 300, right?
Right.
So 300 was like a BD alliance, different Black Disciples factions. You had other individuals in there, but predominantly BD alliance. That thing broke up. Lamron that broke away from Takedown, and Dirk is from Takedown, and the Lamron dudes like Reese and them, they going and they getting the BDs.
Reese and Chief Keef them.
Chief Keef them.
Okay.
They going to get the BDs on their side, right? As opposed to Takedown. So it's kind of like a divide with that. So with Dirk and them might justify it, but maybe not
recent him.
Maybe not recent him. You see what I'm saying? Because they still in the streets. Reed, Tay Savage, they still like really in the streets versus industry. You know what I'm saying? So that they might, I don't know, they might not justify that. Right? Maybe the old black niggas might, but all the BD, I can't see that. They know what that is, and a lot of them niggas been in the same positions and didn't do that, so they're not gonna justify it.
So that takes a major toll on the BDs for real though. For somebody of their stature and somebody that, like you say, glorify as a killer, a real
as like their top dude
stepper.
Yeah,
like they got niggas like NLE. I want to, you know what? Another person I want to know. How Big 30 and how Sexyy going, because they really connected with them niggas. And stood up with them.
And you stood up for them, but y'all are real gangsters. Exactly. How do I know Sexy's a real gang? Because he really did it. He's doing his time right now, federal.
Right.
He's doing his time.
So
how do we respect that going to PC?
Exactly. So Big 30 got to speak out on it, because if it was anybody else, like for an example, who was it? Country Black.
Country Black, yeah.
Was like, he did that shit, like, towards Sexyy. Dude was just asking him his opinion on the interview, and Big 30 spoke out against it, was calling him red and stuff like that.
Wow.
I want to know if he gonna have that same energy towards Von.
You gotta have that energy, because Crunchy Black, he just said something on the interview. That's not telling necessarily, right? He didn't go to the police and just like purpose. But this dude, he went to law enforcement and asked for help and protection against another group of people that he's at odds with. What are we talking about?
So if he's not speaking out against it, like I said, that's the respect the person's thing. Yeah. Sexyy need to be speaking on it.
And that's what destroys our community. Respect the person, letting people get away with stuff that other people shouldn't get away with, setting rules and letting people break them because how much you like them, that's crazy as hell.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So yeah, all these people that's with Dirk and Von, and we just got Steven Jackson. I want to know what he.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Niggas eat this little nigga dick like he just is the Godfather. That's what killed me about that whole thing. Like how much dick eating people do with King Von. Like he is Michael Myers or something. Freddy Krueger.
He made him check in. A nigga 6'8". How tall is Steven?
6'8" check in, and but it's a joke because like them Chicago niggas, there ain't no checking in Chicago. There's nobody can, like you have somebody I seen somebody is taking people to the King Von mural on O Block over there and giving people safe passage. There ain't no such thing as safe passage in Chicago. It's not even a checking in LA. That doesn't guarantee your safety. It increases your chances of safety. It doesn't guarantee your safety. And it increases your chances of safety because there is some type of mutual understanding within different groups of individuals in LA that when they are escorting people out of town because they want to reciprocate it. When they got the bag from out of town, hey, let us through. But that don't exist in Chicago. It doesn't. The people in Chicago are very clear about that, right? So you're not safe checking in with anybody out there, realistically, because people is coming through shooting shit up every day out there. Yeah. So how are you saying? How can I keep you safe and my friends are dying, or the niggas around me is dying? How can we ensure your safety and we're dying
like they with just guns walking on around with bulletproof vests and shit?
Just a bulletproof force field around them or something. Now that ain't how it work. Ain't how it work at all. Like you said, you got Steven Jackson. A lot of you people, a lot of grown men showed that they was clowns with King Von and Dirk and
Gillie the Kid,
all the dick eating that they've done to them. And not saying you can't like them or stuff like that. There's a difference between liking people, embracing people, being a fan of people, messing with people, and the level of man worship and dick eating that I've seen done for Dirk and Von is unprecedented. But look what is revealed about this dude. Look who the Lord revealed, how the Lord revealed it, because the Lord's doing. So is this your king? Is this your king? That's the question, man. Okay.
So yeah, all y'all, especially you Memphis rappers, NLE, you gotta take back everything you said on those interviews about Von.
Yeah, the stepper. And then but here's the coldest part about it. Somebody steps, kills him, right? And he's demonized. But he stepped. Somebody see somebody do a song and it was fun, but he was like, basically, the point of the song was everybody need a little Tim. I mean, how is that wrong? Everybody do need a little Tim on their team. Everybody do need someone who's stepping for them, regardless. Now you mad that the stepper got stepped on. I thought we glorified. This the thing too, right? The power of death is in the tongue. All he talked about is death. All he talked about is killing people, right? Okay, cool. So then when he gets killed now, people are sad. But he propagated death. He was all about death, right? He allegedly, and this remains to be substantiated in a federal courtroom, but he allegedly paid money, rewarded people to kill somebody, which is FBG Duck, right? So why are we crying for him? Why are we sad for him? Why are we surprised that that's how he died?
Right.
You know? It's crazy. But by not doing it, but see, he thought Quando was weak. And physically, I can see why anybody would think I could run up on Quando and beat the hell out of him. That's all he was thinking. Why didn't he give that energy for them niggas in that jail? Why didn't you just run up on them and start beating them? Why did you have to tell the police you were scared because you're gay and you need protection? You ain't treat them like that, but you thought Quando was weak, so you went to pick on him and you got stepped on. That was a totally avoidable situation. Totally.
And then, too, like you said, it's the fact that, okay, when a nigga got status and money, they like, oh, he didn't fucked up everybody because he feeding everybody and stuff like that. But who does he really have that he's feeding that's like doing something productive?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
So what are y'all talking about?
Nobody's doing anything productive. Them niggas is not good rappers.
Exactly.
Over there. You can say Von is a good rapper or Dirk, but them dudes up off of O Block, bro, that's up under them, that's trying to, they're not good
They're
artists.
carrying them.
Yeah,
they're carrying them.
Straight carrying them. They're not good artists, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, while we in Chicago, Hassan, you had anything else on that?
Nah, yeah, go ahead.
While we in Chicago, right, on the flip side, the G's.
GDs.
Right? According to this source, it said Adam 22 and the Chicago Goon go at it on IG Live over a recent interview they did together.
That's Rooga.
Rooga? Adam 22. Now, it was two other people on this live stream. I don't even know the
FYB J-Man was on there, I think. Was J-Man on their side?
That was J-Man? Is this J-Man right here? This dude, hold on. Let me show you his face.
You got to do your homework on FYB
Yeah,
J-Man.
you got to do your homework.
It hit different when FYB
Yeah, that's
J-Man
him, that's
on the
him.
whoop. Yeah, when FYB J-Man on the whoop, it hit different. Do your homework on when FYB J-Man on the whoop, right? But yeah, so that situation.
So, boom. So, basically, what happened was Adam 22 and Rooga, they had an interview. Before the interview, Rooga was like, look, please don't ask questions about beef, basically.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions about beef. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really on it no more.
Okay.
So Rooga confronted him because he wanted to actually see the interview prior to it being released.
Yeah.
You got something on it already?
Well, number one, you know, when Adam said, he's like, bro, I'm doing 10 interviews a week. And that's just as somebody who works with the camera, behind the camera, works with editing, for somebody to request me to give them an interview in its totality ahead of time, wait for them to watch it, give their reviews and edits, get it back, edit it again, and put it out, you're asking a whole lot of somebody who produces content, right? You're asking more than reasonably you should be asking for somebody who produces content, right? Number one. Number two, to avoid that, all you had to do was take your cell phone out and press audio record, and you could have went back and listened to it, and you could have heard any part, and you could have gave him timestamps and any parts for them to be mindful of when editing. Mind you, on top of this, Adam doesn't edit the videos. He has a team of people that are doing the editing. They're doing the graphics, doing all that.
Even giving the scripts.
All that. That's helping him do the interview. All that. They're so to ask before, I mean, it's crazy. Let's just keep going. I'm going to get to that part next.
Right. So, basically, he asked for the interview prior to see it. Adam did admit, look, he really forgot to tell him that fuck it, I'm releasing it anyway. Right?
Yeah.
So Adam said that's an error on my part, but I was gonna tell you, fuck what you talking about, I'm releasing it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you anybody who sits in front of a camera that somebody else is controlling needs to factor in that could happen. That everything that's being captured on camera is liable to be put out in the public at any given time. You have to be mindful of that. It's not his fault. And see, the problem is, like, the scriptures teach us in Ecclesiasticus or the book of Sirach, the 12th chapter, the 10th verse, never trust your enemy, right? And our people think Crips and Bloods and BDs and GDs and Latin Kings and Serranos and Norteños are our enemy, when really it's these other groups of people outside of it, these other ethnic groups, right? So the white man is our enemy. That's just period. You went and sat. See, the problem is a lot of y'all be thinking Adam is cool, right? And Adam is cool as a fan until he's not. Ask the FIGGMUNITY world about that. He's cool until he's not, right? At the end of the day, Adam 22 is a businessman. No Jumper and his different business ventures are multi-million-dollar business ventures. And he, like any businessman, does what's best for business. What's best for business. I don't understand what's hard to get about that. I don't understand why him being cool with you makes you think anything outside of that. See, the problem with a lot of our people is you in the streets, you know the streets is cutthroat. Then you get in the industry and you get around these white people and these other people and you feel like it's different now. No, it's more cutthroat. Y'all know it's slime. People are sliming each other out. You know the back door is open. You thought the back door closed because you're in the industry and this white boy is smiling in your face? I'm sure he likes you. Sure he likes your music. But you know what he likes more? The money that he makes off the views of the content that he creates based upon our culture. That's what he likes more than anything. Because the things that he was previously passionate about, like BMX riding, wasn't doing it for him. See that? So some of y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. A lot of people are like, man, Adam, I mess with you, but man, listen. If you thought Adam was anything other than what he was, I don't know what's wrong with you. I went up there, I did my interview. I know what Adam is, right? And that's fine with me. Shook the man's hand, told him I appreciate the opportunity for him to let me on his platform, and I still do. Are you kidding me? I know what's going on. And just because I had a cool interaction with him don't mean I think that he's something other than what he is. That's okay. You got to deal with people like that, right? It's not y'all. A lot of y'all, man, are naive as hell. But like I said, you go in the hood and you be around your people and you know what time it is with your people. You leave the hood and you thought it changed. No, it didn't change. It gets colder. It gets a lot colder. You know.
Okay, so basically, after that blows up, Rooga had a problem with Adam basically saying, and like you said, Adam being Adam. As the interview started, Adam basically opened up with, well, off camera, you said you didn't want to talk about this, and Rooga had a problem with the fact that if I tell you something off camera, it's off camera, right? So you got to keep your word in a sense. This is what he's basically saying. So he had a problem with Adam just doing everything opposing and exposing that once those camera came on, you talked about what we talked about off camera.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that?
I understand Ruger's frustration, but that's, again, a part of Ruger's naivety. And I want to add something else. When you go to No Jumper, you have to sign release forms. They give you a tablet with an entire release form. They got an app, a No Jumper app on these tablets that, boom, and it takes you through all the legal paperwork. Lets you know that what's on this camera we can put out, we own, etc. And you're giving us a right to do so. So you can't complain about an edit when you signed your right away before you sat down. Let's start there, right? But then going back, okay, he didn't keep his word. This is a guy who made headlines a few months ago when, you know, the core people in his business left on the heels of somebody who's been closely associated with him for years, being exposed as somebody who has sexual relation with a transsexual. They didn't edit. He told them to edit it out, and it still didn't get edited all the way out.
That's his man's too.
And that's his man. So why do you think you is going, like, again, man, Rooga, all of Chicago, all the drill artists, and I'm going to start with Rooga, right? Y'all got the game twisted. You guys think people are just genuinely interested in you. There's not a drill artist. There's not any artist, and this any city, but Chicago is the birthplace of all this drill stuff. And King Yella pointed out, and he's right. Chicago influenced the whole, to hell with the country, the whole world. They drilling in Italy. They drilling in Africa. They drilling in England, etc. So, but now what's making you interesting is the beef. That's what people care about. That's what captivates people. That's what makes that it gives people more dimensions of fandom that they could delve into to get them invested in you and to consume what you put out. Rooga, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, your revenue, your money, your fan base is dependent upon the beast that you are involved in. That is the temperature out here. That is the landscape out here that Chicago created. Little Durk, Chief Keef, none of these guys are really all that fantastic of musicians, right? There are a select few, don't get it twisted, right? And guess what? Rooga is a fantastic musician. He's versatile. He has a, if you hear some of the stuff in his catalog, he's not just a drill rapper. But guess what? You came out in that lane, sir. You came out in that lane. So because you came out in that lane, unfortunately, you are stuck in that lane. So you can't not talk about the beef. You have to talk about the beef. This is what people click to see. They didn't click to see you. People be like, yo, why don't we talk about the music? No one give a fuck about you talking about the music. First off, what are we going to talk about the music for? I got this new song. It's getting ready to come out next week. Oh, my God, wait till y'all hear it. Okay.
What's the
then
music
what?
about, though?
You said what?
And what's the music about, though?
And what's the music? And we have to understand something. And I'm going to be real. Rooga, you have dropped the ball. Duck, unfortunately, was murdered, man. Right? He was the one for y'all in, right? For the GDs. You bursted through GD Anthem. They didn't let the GDs in the door. And you got in the door and just stood there. You walked in the door and just stood there because you have not advanced. You're not even releasing enough for people to even be interested in the music. Since GD Anthem, what record do you have of any comparable impact? Comparable impact. I listen to you, so I know what you released since then, but I'm talking about comparable. Everybody knows GD Anthem. Name another record from you everybody knows other than GD Anthem and Exposing Me. So now we do GD Anthem, right? That's about what? Being a GD. Now, it's not disrespectful, but it's glorifying being a gangster disciple. Cool. Before that is Exposing Me, a straight up diss song, drill song, with multiple dead people being mocked in it. Right or wrong? You see Lil Steve coming through the smoke, right? Okay. So these are your, you said what?
Members. You can't name a nigga who ain't blick.
You members, but that's not a well-known rap. I'm talking about his records that are impactful. It's all he got is them two. Here's the problem though. You are an amazing artist, a talented artist. You should have more than that. Right? And guess what? Nobody's gonna listen to your music if you're not willing to talk about the beef. Nobody's gonna listen to any of these people's music. Right? Guess what? When Dirt come on in the club, people like and Von come on in the club, everybody says we not from 63rd. The disrespectful aspects of drill music, Chicago-based music, Chicago musicians is what has captivated everybody. If you want to stray away from that, people are going to not be interested in you. That's just a fact. And the fact that you have not come to grips with that yet is baffling and startling to me.
Right.
Because it demonstrates y'all are disconnected from reality. This is the nature of what's going on here. And the South Side of Chicago, in collaboration with the powers that be, are responsible for that. You don't get to change the rules now, sir. Adam knows no one's going to give a fuck about what you have to say if you ain't talking about the beef. They're not going to give a flying fuck. Right? And as a businessman who didn't sit up there with you for an hour and a half, 2 hours of his life recording an interview for it not to get views, he did what he was supposed to do. What's best for business. Right?
Exactly. And like you say, it's just him being naive, but you can tell the problem with what's going on is he continued to release music like drill.
Mm-hmm.
The other problem is on Instagram, you go on your lives and you understand that this is not what it is, right? Mm-hmm. This is not the end all be all. Niggas need to be on businesses. Like one live stream that I was looking at, he was talking about niggas need to get Turo cars. Niggas need to get into trucking. Niggas need to do this. Niggas need to do that. And he was with his shorty, you know what I'm saying, son, giving all this information. So the problem is, like you said, he's now going on these interviews and he not wanting to leave that influence to the children. But what's the brother name again that y'all said was on the live with him?
FYB J-Man. Do your homework.
He told him, bro, if you didn't want to talk about it, and Rooga went off on him. Mm-hmm. He told him, if you didn't want to talk about it, bro, just let him know that you weren't on it. Mm-hmm. He said that on the live stream. And then Rooga ended up, you know what I'm saying, going in on him, and he was talking about this young nigga not representing the GDs. I'm you know what I'm saying, for Chicago, I represent this, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, FYB J-Man ain't a GD. So you're right, he don't represent that. He BD. So, of course, he with y'all, but he BDN. Right. So, of course, he don't represent the GDs, but here's the problem. Rooga, you right. You supposed to be holding the flag for that 7414 thing, bro. You supposed to be holding that flag. You supposed to be taking it everywhere. Ye, listen. You did it. Ye done put you on his album. Ye done brought you out. Dirk said, I ain't going because you there. And what have you done? You dropped a ball. You're bullshitting. So you better get up there in front of that white man and talk about the beef and the bullshit. So there can be some interest in you so that next record could come out. Mike can get back to where GD Anthem got. He's silly as hell, man.
And then when you look at Dirk in his interviews with academics,
because he don't do a lot of interviews, but he did one with academics, and he understood I got to talk about everything right now.
Yeah,
he got it.
He didn't give information up to where it's like he's involved. Mm-hmm. He was just saying this is what happened. But
I like this guy. I don't like this guy. We not eye to eye no more.
Exactly.
You got it. He understood. Dirk understood what he had to do,
and that's why he went
in front of academic, and he just did it. Rooga, you need to understand what you got to do, bro. People is not interested in your music, bro. You got to get them interested. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, let's go back to 2012 when drill made its explosion on the scene. Somebody had put, I remember I was on a Skype call, group Skype call. Somebody put a link in the thing for a song called 300 by Chief Keef. I looked at it. I thought it was a parody. It was some of the dumbest shit I ever seen in my life, and I thought it was a joke. Then I realized something. Oh, this is where music is going. So then I said, let me listen to it again now with a new mentality of music ain't what it just was. There's a change now. Then I realized, okay, maybe it's all right. Then I Don't Like come out. So now everybody's talking about this GBE 300 OTF. Okay, cool. So then I get a hold of Reese and Dirk, right? But then all of a sudden, there's this stuff going on World Star Hip Hop. FBG Cash on the phone with Chief Keef mama talking about he knocking her down, and a nigga by the name of Lil Jojo, R.I.P. Joseph Coleman, Lil Jojo, right? 069 Bricc Squad. All of a sudden, he come out, BDK, all this stuff. Then he drives by Lil Reese. Reese tells him he gonna kill him, and then all of a sudden, he's dead. That's what made drill what it is. The death, Lil Jojo aside. Now let me know if you disagree with it. Joseph Coleman, Lil Jojo is Jesus Christ to drill music, right or wrong?
Jesus
Christ. He's the sacrifice in order for drill to be what it is. Because if he doesn't die, the interest in it.
You say Lil Jojo. I'm
Lil Jojo,
Lil
Joseph Coleman.
Yeah.
Joseph Coleman is Jesus Christ to drill music.
Without the resurrection.
Well.
No, I'm not trying to say like disrespectful.
But no, without the resurrection, but the resurrection comes in the form of his sacrifice does put on his side. The team no lacking side.
Yeah.
You know, it gives.
Yeah, I can say that.
Duck
I can
them,
say that.
things
Well,
like that.
Then who's John the Baptist?
Well,
OD
you're getting too technical.
Okay.
We
all
might
We're
have
not
to put
getting
him
that
on the mic,
technical
'cause
with
I
it.
forgot he a Midwest nigga and he
You know what I'm
follows
saying? So he know
Chicago
about
drill.
it,
No,
right?
he follows Chicago drill.
I say his death did make his side have a reason to start rapping. As far as like,
It's many of them that say
Being
we
a
start
black-
rapping
Yeah.
because of JoJo's death,
Exactly.
or it turned him up. But also, his sacrifice was necessary for Keith and them to, like, the interest of all this. When somebody really died, and now we can literally go on the internet and follow all of this, like you would watch a show, but it's playing out in real life. Like, exactly. That's the formula that was able to go to every city. Now people are really dying. We can follow this. Who's who? What's what? Who's beefing with what? It's like a damn TV show. It's like watching Power.
yeah.
Or something like that. So being able to do it with JoJo's death, it helped the entire city of Chicago ascend. They ain't had nobody since Kanye, Common, Twister, Do or Die. Who did they have? Nobody. That brought that whole scene up, his death. So that's why I will say Joseph Coleman, Lil JoJo, is Jesus Christ to drill music.
And it was the timing of it as well, because it was right after the tweet. That's when Twitter was like up on the upcoming.
Twitter was what it was,
going
yeah.
crazy.
It's the
on
way
Twitter.
he did, like
Yeah.
being on a bike, all that stuff, like all that played a part for.
It fascinated, and when that word spread, everybody's like, yo, what? Because the video just was on World Star of JoJo riding by and Reese saying, JoJo, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Then he died. That right there made everybody go, nah, something's going on in Chicago. And everybody paid attention. And then Keith and Reese and Dirk had deals. Keith was at Interscope. Reese and Dirk was at Def Jam. They took those deals and they did what they were supposed to do, and they locked them niggas out and they exploded. That's what happened. So that's the catalyst of that. So this is what the entire arena that you're in, whether you like it or not, is that. So if you want to talk about Dooski, if you want to talk about your brother Scrap, if you want to talk about, you know, the niggas over there that got lost, who's in jail, who's with what, J-Main say this dude's, if you don't want to talk about that, bro, you must not want to exist.
You shouldn't have been a rapper then, bro. You know, fuck no. You could have been a rapper, like Chance. Chance the rapper ain't got. You should have been a rapper like him, or you should have been a security guard with Alliance Universal or something, nigga. You know what I mean? Because you are a drill rapper who talks about dead ops, bro.
Yeah, straight up.
So you don't get to have the luxury of.
And you can try to get away from it, but you can't. Dirk been saying he gonna stop. He ain't stopped yet. You don't realize you're a prisoner to it. The only way to stop this shit is to stop rapping and, like you said, pursue a career somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with people like Kevin Gates, NLE Chopper.
You
You know what I'm saying? They try to go into this conscious. And what's
It's too
crazy
late.
is you talk to him in the midst of that. Literally 6 months later, after that conversation y'all had, he went back on the freestyle and started talking all killing and drilling.
Because nigga don't realize you're a prisoner to it. You can't stop doing it, especially once you got a record deal. You have expectations. You can't stop being who you are.
Right.
You can't recreate yourself like that, bro.
You niggas not Frank Ocean.
Yeah,
What was the nigga?
Who?
Was it? No, I forgot what it was. It was either Frank Ocean, who just released that bullshit album and got up out there with the bag. Was it Frank Ocean? Yeah, it was Frank Ocean, bro. I'm talking about released a bullshit album. They signed him. He released a bullshit album and ran off with all the money that he had. You know, and royalties he had from his previous song.
Y'all ain't doing it like that. Let's be
smarter.
real. You stop rapping, bro. You're gonna have to stop rapping.
Pay the folks their money back.
Because this is what people are trying to see, bro. This is what people are trying to see. When we get to like I said, exposing me, Duck and Rooga, which you know Rooga is Duck's cousin. When you get to exposing me, bro, you know, you said a lot on that song.
What's crazy is Charleston White kind of gave them a warning on Adam 22. They asked Charleston White, why don't you go on Adam 22? He said, I'm not into niggas who's into gangster black boys like that. And then he went into what you just went into. Like the man he's into gangster rapping. But he also said nobody, how you feel about that? Nobody actually blew up from an Adam 22 interview.
Well, that's not true. XXX Tentacion. He the first one. It blew Adam up and it blew him up. So I wouldn't say people haven't blown up from an Adam interview, but I don't know how many people are blowing up from any just interview as an artist. People are blowing up as vloggers through and blowing up their podcasts from interviews, but as an artist, because you talking, I could like you as a person. That doesn't have to translate to your music. See what I'm saying? So I think I don't think that's a valid critique.
Right.
But like you said, X though, for sure.
Right. So yeah, so now, sticking in the Midwest, right? That's all you got. Anything else on that last topic?
No.
So boom. Now we're gonna go to St. Louis, the home of Tazarian, right? So we got this young sister named Sexyy,
Who has the song of the year, might I add.
right?
I'm saying this, we almost 8 months into the year, and Pound Town is the song of the year.
That's
Hands
definitely-
down. Like it or love it. You ain't gotta like it or love it. You ain't gotta co-sign it. But it's about objectively taking a look at every song that's come out in 2023 and taking a look at the impact. Pound Town is the song of the year.
So
May I, before you say something, this is what I'm thinking, right?
What?
I barely vaguely remember when In the Club came out, but I'm not saying it's nearly as big as In the
No,
Club.
it ain't nearly as big.
But I'm saying when In the Club first dropped, I wasn't in the club. I was 7 years old, or 6 years, or whatever I was. But it was still like, nigga, that shit shut down everything. When Pound Town comes on In the Club, bro, I don't give a fuck what people are doing, bro. If a woman is eating some goddamn crab legs and she's got half of a crab leg in her motherfucking mouth, bro,
it's over with.
She is going to touch her toes with a crab leg and a goddamn potato in her mouth and start shaking ass everywhere, bro. I've never seen nothing like that, bro.
Yeah.
I thought I want a slim thick woman was on 12. I thought that was something, bro.
Nah.
Pound Town, nigga, it's a problem, bro.
Yeah, it's a problem.
hold on. So is it FNF or is it Pound Town?
No, FNF came out in 2022 though.
No, I'm saying which one.
Pound Town is just
No, they're the equivalent. FNF was a song of 2022, and the new FNF is Pound Town, the song of 2023.
They're both.
But if you had to choose,
Pound Town, just like it, it's a way. It's a way better song.
But it's not the question of that. Again,
Okay. What's
they're the same song.
okay.
They're the exact same song.
So what about tomorrow? What is their rank?
Tomorrow
with Cardi B though.
Tomorrow 2 with Cardi on it is right behind FNF. It's right behind FNF. It arguably, you can argue it's the same, right? You can argue it's the same.
That's what you say.
I got tomorrow. Tomorrow's way harder than that.
No. You're talking about your personal preference here, and that's not what we're talking about.
Okay, what's a bigger song?
FNF is definitely a bigger song.
Okay.
But FNF definitely was song of 2023. Tomorrow 2 is number 2 though. It's number 2. The issue with Tomorrow 2 is the same issue. I mean, the issue what puts FNF over Tomorrow 2 is the same thing. Like it has a hook. That's key there. So because FNF's hook is what it is, all the girls can sing it together. Because the Pound Town's hook is what it is, all the girls can sing it together. Tomorrow 2 does not have a hook. So automatically, it's going to take a loss to FNF.
You're just saying this because you remixed the song. I just realized that he remixed the song. Now he's got to say it's above the other one.
Let's move on.
So look, we got Sexyy Red goes to a high school, right? And when she walked through the door, she gives the bird at a high school. I guess pop up,
Yeah, she's the middle finger.
right? So a lot of people are,
What song did she perform? She performed Pound Town or Ski?
It was Pound Town actually.
She performed Pound Town at high school.
Yeah, hold on. So look. Okay, that's Ski. Okay. What song is that, Tazar?
It's-
That's what that is.
Yeah, I ain't heard that song before.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
So she performs. She did not perform Pound Town. Okay.
That's ignorant. That's too ignorant.
She didn't get a chance to perform
Why?
because the kids ran to the floor when they seen her.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, a lot of people they think this is controversial.
Basically.
Not that I don't think it's controversial, but like the way, you know, how Blueface got popular was going to high schools and performing Tatiana. Buzz down, Tatiana, buzz down. But you see what I'm saying? So if we gonna be upset at Sexyy Red, we gotta be upset at Blueface. We gotta, but people didn't have that energy for Blueface when he was pulling up to everybody high school. High schools were starting to invite him. I know a high school, Vista High School, who brought him out there to perform to the high school. So yeah, I again, I don't think any of these sexually provocative music needs to be directed towards children at all. You know, we come from a time where you had to wait till 3 a.m. to see this type of stuff, and that was only on weekends on BET, Uncut. You know, you had to stay up late to see Tip Drill. That just wasn't what was on all day. Right now, that's the norm. It's the regular video, and the kids are being exposed to it. It's unfortunate the kids are being exposed to it, but the people who are having outrage didn't have that same outrage when Tatiana was getting performed in high schools, and he was going viral from that.
You know, Whitehaven High School, Young Dolph, Yo Gotti, OG Boo Dirty during the time. I mean, every major rapper came and performed, and we cursing with him. So I want to read something.
And I'm sure that GORRILLA and Gloss and Carbon, them, I'm sure all of them have been performing in Memphis.
Carbon, actually, the whole crew came and performed at Whitehaven High School.
See what I'm saying? Shout out to the
Haven, what's the song they got? Shabuya.
Shabuya, yeah. Come on, man. I got some niggas, ain't none of them mine. Talking about niggas performing all type of sexual acts. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So, do I agree that these things shouldn't be aimed to our children? But then these schools need to do something about it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's that simple. If not, it's just gonna be what it is. But also, not only why do these kids know the songs?
Because your parents allowed.
Why are these kids having so much fandemonium over these people when they come in there? It's being allowed.
So I just want to read some of these controversial tweets and comments.
Yeah.
Because you got mixed reviews, right? So this one says, the principal / superintendent approved it because stuff like this helps the kids happy and interested in going to school and encourages them to keep going. Who cares about her song lyrics? So this is a female talking, by the way. Who cares about her song lyrics? They're already listening. Something fun to look forward to is the best encouragement.
That's fair. It's fair because why? Because they're already listening. And then that right there, that right there is something that whatchamacallit, hold on. I done lost my train of thought. Okay.
Like a negative reinforcement thing?
But even like coming to school, like if you know that may incentivize kids to go to school. I don't know.
I mean positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement. But it's just like, we do Man Up Monday, we talk about, the job of a man and how a lot of problems that women and children have are a direct result of a lack of leadership for manhood. In the same way, what children do, a lot of what children do are a lack of leadership of parents, man or woman. If these kids are being allowed to listen to this stuff already, they know it. They're sitting there. They got earpods in. They're listening to this throughout their school day. That's okay from their parents to allow them to do it. Then what's the problem with that person coming to the school and performing? Right? If you got a problem, if you allow your kids to listen to it, you can't have a problem with it. If you don't allow your kids to listen to it, you are entitled to certainly have a problem with it. But the way that fandemonium happened, I doubt that people aren't, are telling their kids they can't do it,
So boom. Now this is from a male, and his opinion is on the flip side. It said the administration that allowed this to happen needs to be shamed and fired because this is beyond ridiculous.
What high school was this and where?
Boom.
Because that's important context.
It's just saying high school. I don't know exactly.
I agree with that nigga though.
Why do you agree with him?
You're having a woman who's
but real quick, Tazarian says Hazelwood Central.
Where's that, in St. Louis?
Is that in St. Louis, Tazarian? Yeah.
Okay, so that's in St. Louis. So why do you agree that they should be fired?
Well, I don't know all the staff, obviously, but the ones who are in control of allowing this woman to come to their school and perform that song need to be.
Yeah, so the black people in one of the most poorest cities and most violent cities, most understaffed, underfunded cities in this country, who try to come up with something innovative to engage their students who are performing poorly across the board in academics to have fun at school, need to now be fired when there's not a long line of people waiting to get these jobs?
Yeah, and I'm gonna explain why. It'd be different if, like, for example, let's look at artists like you brought up, BET Uncut. Okay, he's got a song Tip Drill, but that's one of many songs that he has. If you have Nelly come to, ironically, St. Louis, right, and he performs another song, a different song that's not as sexually provocative, I don't have no issue with that, despite the fact that he's got one song, well, many songs that are sexually provocative, but the songs that she is performing,
none of that answers my question.
Well, I'm answering right now. I'm just giving a preface.
None of that answers my question.
Here's how you engage. Well, here's a better idea. I think maybe engaging kids. Maybe have a science fair and have a fucking prize, nigga.
I don't want a science fair. I listen to Sexyy Red,
okay.
who's a tangible.
Do you want money?
Hold on, listen.
How much did it cost to get that girl there?
Again, no money.
No money.
But check this out.
No money.
How do we know that?
It's a community service.
But how do you know that she didn't get paid?
Do you think a St. Louis public school has money to pay Sexyy Red for a show appearance?
Maybe.
That's not how they work.
That's not how they work.
But
that's community service when you do that. That's a tax write-off for you to appear at a high school. Number one, not just a high school, but a high school in the city in which that you're from, right, where you're now looked at as a hometown hero because you're successful in this city. So I want to understand why black people need to lose their jobs for giving these kids what they want.
Giving a kid, but that's what I'm saying though. Giving a child what they want. You're not supposed to give a child what
but their parents give it to them. Their parents give it to them.
Real quick,
listen,
before y'all
the
continue,
onus goes on the parents first. Let me just say that first.
Hold on. Before you continue,
then it goes on to the.
That song was not an explicit song though that she performed.
It wasn't. She didn't perform Pound Town.
Yeah, she didn't perform.
What's the other one?
Pound Town or Ski.
What's the name of the song she performed?
So it wasn't.
Do we have a video of the performance?
Yeah, it's right here.
Well, let's listen to it.
Which she didn't get a chance to. The only problem that most people had was her coming in flipping the kids off at the camera.
That's not horrible.
Right?
It's distasteful.
Listen, it's horrible to say. In elementary school, we were telling people to suck our dicks with a hand gesture.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about. So where this outrage is fake as fuck for real.
Yeah. So,
Cause this shit been going on.
Well, from these, that's what I said. The parents, like these niggas, they are hypocrites. See, me, I would be a parent teachers associate.
A PTA.
But I would be mad, man. Boy, you ain't good. I mean, maybe I would let my son go because I would train him well enough to know that shit isn't right. You know what I mean? But
so boom.
What's the name of the song though?
Well, look up the song for me.
Oh well, she didn't perform anything. So it really doesn't matter what. If she was going to perform Pound Town, it wouldn't matter because she didn't get to perform. So now, where's the outrage?
Well,
why do people need to lose their job again? So you're from St. Louis, right? Let me see the mic because I want to ask him a couple questions, right? So tell us about this high school.
Now, Hazelwood Central is in the North County of St. Louis.
Okay.
No, she from the north side of St. Louis.
The North County of St. Louis, so it's not in St. Louis technically. It's a suburb of St. Louis, or it's a northern?
It's a county.
It's
and the school central is like more suburban like.
Okay.
But
so before you start, because St. Louis is complicated. It's not like a regular how we got Atlanta is a city in the county. He would have to explain because St. Louis is like
a city itself.
Yeah.
Like, and then when you go to the county, it's St. Louis County, but it's not St. Louis City.
Okay. So it's a suburb.
Like
yeah.
LA type shit.
Yeah, you could say that, but some counties look like cities. For instance, people from the city start moving to the county, so they got
urbanized.
But Hazelwood Central is more suburban, like bigger houses,
bigger
middle
yards.
class families and stuff like that. Yeah, bigger yards, dogs and stuff like that.
Upper middle class, even too.
So she went to go perform at a prominent North County school where they be bringing out NFL players, NBA players, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then that's like you said earlier, she didn't even get to perform. So I'm seeing where they coming from, but at the same time, she didn't even perform anything.
Okay.
Right. And they also be bringing like local rappers and stuff to these high schools, and these dudes rapping about running from the police, selling drugs, calling the women thoughts, etc. and there don't be no outrage. Like you said with Blueface, he went no outrage, no nothing. But she just go in, she flick off a camera, and then all hell breaking loose.
I think what's truly going on here, the reality of the situation is there is an onus for people to go out of their way to be hypercritical towards black women.
Right.
That's what I think. I think that she's being attacked simply because she's a black woman here.
Exactly.
Because black men go in here and do this shit all the time, and it's cool. But when a black woman does it, now it's a problem.
Well, can I just say this?
Of course.
That any nigga, Blueface is dead fucking wrong for that, and any nigga that raps about murdering black people and any type of derogatory lyrics towards black women is dead fucking wrong. If not as wrong at the bare minimum, and even more wrong in most instances than Sexyy Red. I don't.
But here's the problem.
I'm just hold on.
Here's the problem.
But
when it happened, it was not a talking point. No one said it. It was not the outrage. There was no energy for it.
Well, shit, if the motherfucker asked me about it on the podcast, I didn't know it was going to be on the podcast today. If somebody asked me on the podcast of Blueface, I'd have said, fuck the nigga for doing that.
But you're not on trial here.
Well, no, I just, the way, hey, listen,
you're not
the
on
way
trial,
he said
son.
in the coming up, if it looked like a left hook coming this direction.
It was just what you said, just, you know.
I disagree with it.
No, you didn't just disagree with it. You said everybody responsible should be fired.
Hell fucking yeah. But, well, if not fired, reprimanded. Check this out. If I was on that panel, and let's say if this was mine, and somebody said, we're going to bring this girl here. You can say yes or no.
No, we got to stop that, though. You have to stop that. Here's why. Because every other rapper they brought in there, they didn't get fired for it. So why should they get fired now?
No, okay.
Why now?
Fair. Okay. So here's the perspective.
Because it was a black woman?
No. See, that's what I'm saying.
Sound like to
this
me.
is the crazy shit I'm talking about, right? So before Sexyy Red, for the record, at the very beginning, it could have been little fucking shoelaces from St. Louis.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
No. But
the moment they brought in a nigga or anybody,
but that's not the question. though.
Okay. So
the question is now. So now, Sexyy Red should be why they get fired.
No, because they've already developed a practice of letting rappers come in and say crazy shit.
So now you're wrong if you fire Sexyy Red.
True. You're hypocritical. So I agree with that 100%.
So now should they be fired still?
No, because I didn't know they've already allowed rappers. I didn't have any.
Okay, I know. None of us did.
Yeah.
I thought this was an inner city St. Louis thing.
But
Apparently,
do you understand
it's in the
what I'm
burbs.
saying,
No, I'm with you.
So I'm not.
I don't think that you were trying to attack black women here. I think the outrage in general is an attack on this black woman.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
That's fair. But I'm saying this isn't.
And you ain't got to agree. Again, this is about objectivity.
Yeah.
I'm objectively looking at this. I don't have to agree that this needs to be propagated towards teenagers, right? Which I don't, but that starts at home, number one. But number two, the fact is I see what's going on. I always see what's going on. This is a black woman fucker. That's what's going on right now.
I agree in that regard, and I just want to make to clear any confusion. I agree with that sentiment that it's once you open up Pandora's box, so to speak, once you open up the floodgates, you can't
unclose.
You can't unclose it. Now you got to allow whatever is to be allowed because you've allowed that precedent to be set in that school system.
And even further than that though, like they've been bringing, since I was in high school, it's been a thing of bringing artists to high schools to the pep rally. That's a thing.
And it might have been just something he's been ignorant of.
No, I'm not.
Did y'all bring artists to your school?
But that's not what I'm ignorant.
Or have you heard of it?
But this is why I talked about Nelly, bro. There's specific. I don't know her whole discography, bro. And
I don't either.
This may be a wild take, but all I know, and I feel like I speak for a lot of people, know Sexyy Red.
Pound Town and now Ski. That's all I know. Ski.
And much love to that sister, and I prayed, and I pray to God in the name of the real Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, that she is blessed.
Yes.
I don't know her anything for being a slut buddying. Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
Well, for making sexually provocative songs, I don't know about
slut buddying.
I don't know why she's slut buddying. Did she say anything? So she said, I just left my nigga, her man.
Okay.
She got took from Pound Town for her man.
Well, she said she was looking for niggas, plural.
She said she was looking for a hoochie daddy. She was looking for the hoochie daddy. Out here in Miami looking for the hoochie daddy. What the niggas that get ratchet on my son needs a new package.
I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
which is there's too many women. Where the niggas at? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no one ever.
But I'm saying that she's the type, like there's certain artists to where like Nelly can have a positive song. Like even look Tupac, right? That nigga got all kind of positive songs, but he's got all kind of songs about fucking bitches and degrading. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you brought him in to perform Dear Mama, it's different than a Sexyy Red, her whole persona, from what I've observed, is just propagating whoredom. So it's a little different, bro.
I don't know about propagating whoredom, but certainly propagating sexuality.
Right. Because she's not. I don't know. It's not
everything
whoredom.
may not be about whoredom, but it's definitely sexually charged for sure.
Because it's
sexuality.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You also got to look at the perspective of these worldly people. This is the people who they worship, people with status and money. Like, for an example, in Memphis with Young Dolph, because of the community work that he did behind him getting rich,
it didn't matter what he did.
They said that cancels out.
That cancels out any negativity and let him come up here and perform whatever he wants.
Exactly. Because he's actually doing work into the community. He's buying property. He's donating he's doing free promo for these local companies he's from. He's still going to the hood, getting the chop at the houses. So they respected him for that because of that status. So they want, by any means necessary, for kids to follow a path like that. So you got to look at that too, as far as them trying to use that because they seeing that this is what these kids are interested in. So if you got a nigga saying kill, but don't kill, you know what I'm saying? In real life, you need to go to school and do all this. This is the person that they're going to listen to, despite of the things that they're saying.
I 100% agree with that statement. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And then you got people, parents, like my parents will say, do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, we live in a time we got a disposition where the educators are literally in competition with entertainers. So they probably feel as if if we could synthesize those two things, bring Sexyy Red to the school, maybe these kids will care more about the education. I don't think it will have that effect. I can understand the mentality though, but I don't think Sexyy Red or Sexyy Red, just from her overall persona, I don't think she should be in a high school. But let's just be serious. Again, they bring artists to high schools. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it. They've been doing it, so she shouldn't be excluded from it.
I agree with that. That's all. Again, just to reiterate, and we can move on. I'm not trying to attack the sister at all. I'm saying I'm looking at this from the vantage point of, if I was in control of this, would I allow it? I didn't know that this school had already allowed all type of them people. I'm saying if they had this is the first artist that they allowed, that should have been vetoed, and then people need to be.
Think about it. If you were in a St. Louis high school and you let Jaquan perform, Jaquan got one song to perform, and it's about teen drinking.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Teen drinking is very bad, but I got a fake ID, though. Yeah. He was 16 years old rapping about everybody in the club get tipsy.
Yeah. Well, censor it, nigga. Fuck.
But what can I say? Everybody got it. It's the whole song.
Everybody in the school getting, fuck it, I don't know.
See, there's no way to do it. You got to say it.
You know what's funny? I heard Sexyy Red Pound Town on the radio, the censor version. It's some of the stupidest shit I've heard in my entire life.
Because you
there's
can't,
no way to uncensor
because you can't do it. Some songs you just can't undo.
She said, "Where the hitters? I'm looking for the bros."
Oh my god,
it's trash. But speaking of another woman, there was a sister who was, I believe, she was arrested in Dubai for being boisterous, allegedly yelling.
For screaming. It's illegal for a woman to scream in Dubai.
Okay. Do we know what she said?
She was screaming. It don't matter what she said. She raised her voice. You had something on that?
No, I was just when I saw that, I read the comments, and it was just crazy how like people was like pushing for it, but then at the same time people was like, no. What I was harping on was how people was pushing for Dubai for doing that stuff, saying like, well, she shouldn't have been allowed. Da da da. But yet they'll come over in America and disregard all that. You want to be loud, ratchet, screaming out the sunroof, all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how they allow them to do it, but then when it's over here, can't nobody tell them what to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, what people gotta understand is you have a sovereign dominion of, Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. These are powerful people, these are people with money. And this is for like DJ Esco, he got locked up out there for having some weed. Like Brittany Griner got locked up out there in Russia. Y'all Americans, the American, you said what? No, it's Esco. Esco was the one who did 56 Nights. America makes our people entitled to a level that is incredible. Like like just going. I've been to Mexico, right? And I didn't go to Cozumel. I didn't go to Cancun. I didn't go to Mazatlan. You know, I really went to Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, in the middle of a cartel war. I've been multiple times. It's entirely different than any of those tourist locations, any of those resorts, you know, where you can walk in there and clearly tell the standard of living is way under yours. Where the place where you thought that you've been, that's the hood, this is worse. Yep. Already. 100%. It's already worse. You ain't even been to the hood yet here. It's already worse than the hood where you grow up at in the United States. And we've been drunk, and scripture speak about everybody's drunk with the wine of Babylon. Babylon was America, make people drunk. So you go with that entitlement to these other countries, and guess what? For our people, you might can use that in certain countries that need American tourist dollars. Dubai is not on that list. You want to go to Dubai because you hear it glorified. A lot of our sisters just want to pride themselves on stamps on their passport in exotic locations that they've went to, but they don't understand the nature of the places in which they're going. They don't respect the nature of those places. They don't respect that this country is a sovereign entity and has the right to govern itself the way it sees fit, and has the right to make whatever rules that it sees fit and enforce them on any and all people that enter therein. You're not in America anymore. You need to act like it. That yelling at people, that's not going. First off, what was she yelling at him about?
It says right here, she allegedly was talking loudly at a rental car agent.
At a what?
At a rental car agent.
You know what's cold? Women have only just been able to drive cars there. Yeah. You don't realize the luxury of you being able to rent a car in that country. You don't understand that. All you were caught up on is the hype of Dubai. And this is the hype of this soft girl era, you know, black women living in luxury stuff. Hassan, get for me First Timothy, that in First Timothy.
Pleasures.
And a lot of y'all are out of touch with reality. And you're living for other people. You went to Dubai because you want to tell people about you going to Dubai. You want to take pictures in Dubai. You want people to see you in Dubai. You want to go to Jamaica. You want to go all these places so you can give off an image to people about yourself.
Instagram.
Right? Instagram and the likes and the persona. That's what a lot of this is. And guess what? This was a wake-up call. Y'all better watch it before you take your ass to Dubai. You better watch it because they're not playing.
That's a strict country.
Find out for me also when women have begun allowed to be start driving out there, right? But read that scripture first.
Yeah, 1 Timothy 5:6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
She that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. A lot of these women want to give the illusion that they're living in the lap of luxury, and truly they are dead while they live.
Yeah.
That's the reality of the situation. And you don't even know what you got yourself. Like, y'all playing in Dubai. You should, before you enter a country, you should probably look at the laws.
Yeah.
You know that the United States, TSA, they give travel advisories for countries. You know, they let you know about certain things like that ahead of time. So when you go there, you're not blindsided by it. Mm-hmm. Right?
And what they say about the ignorance of the law?
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse to break it.
Precept.
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 27:12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
You should have foresaw the evil. You should have educated yourself on how you are supposed to operate in this country. You're just caught up on Dubai. Mm-hmm. You're not realizing. First off, Dubai not only just start letting y'all drive, they just start letting y'all not be covered up to even enter the country. That's all new.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And if I may, I'm gonna finish this. But here's how simple you are as a black woman to go there and do that. They're just now giving certain basic rights, what we would consider in America basic rights to their own women. Let alone, we're in a world that's flipped upside down, where the black woman that's supposed to be on the pedestal in this world is now looked at as beneath, as garbage, just as the black man and Hispanic man is looked at as garbage. Nigga, you're going to a whole other fucking country full of people that don't speak the same language as you, mm-hmm. where they just now letting y'all niggas, people, not even niggas, people, women, not have to wear the durkas. What are they called? What's it called?
I don't know. Burqa.
Burqa, whatever it's called. So imagine
hijab.
this hijab. Imagine this Arab man mind as your silly ass is yelling at him. First of all, he believe, bitch, you're supposed to be covered up anyway. Number one, that's first and foremost. Then, bitch, you're yelling at me. Bitch, you're not even supposed to be driving this fucking car. And you're a black woman. Oh,
From
bitch,
America,
you're going to jail. You going to jail now. You going to jail now.
And you got to think about it. Not only that, let's not act as if the black woman has not been demonized and stigmatized throughout the whole earth.
Right.
You, again, is it wrong? Is it right that you've been demonized and stigmatized throughout the whole earth? Hell no. But it's the reality. It's the reality that people out, we hate ourselves, and people outside of us definitely goddamn hate us, and they have the power to systemically enact that hate, to act on that hate. You got to be mindful of things like that before you start traveling out into the world. Period.
So
go ahead.
So the legalization of women driving rights was literally 23 years ago in 2000.
So women. This century is when women were able to drive there. See that? 23 years ago. And guess what? They are pioneers in the Arab world for doing that 23 years ago.
That's Muslim women, though. Well, initially, probably.
Initially, just Muslim women. Yeah. Uh-huh. They
Arabic
just
Muslim women.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Come on. And like that's their own woman.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, hold on. I'm tripping. It said when did females start driving in Dubai? So they passed a law in 2000.
Uh-huh.
But it said until a few years ago, the answer to this question has been said no. That the law passed to allow women to drive actually in June 2018.
Women have been allowed to drive for 5 years in this country. And you think you're going to raise your voice to somebody about at a rental car place when you know what, we might have to rethink even letting you drive in the first. Come on, man.
2018.
That's crazy. 5 years. Man, listen, man. Our people, we caught up on taking trips. That's the new thing. Everybody want to take trips. All right, take a trip. You had sis end up dead in Mexico. You had the one people got kidnapped out there in Mexico. Right? People dropping dead, drinking bad tequila in the DR. All right. You better get yourself, like, look, when I went to Mexico, you know what I brought with me? Mexicans. I was in Puerto Rico. I had a Puerto Rican tour guide. I'm not going to countries without individuals who I know who are native, who understand the dynamics of the country, who speak the language of the country, who are familiar. If you ain't got those things, I'm not going to a country where I'm blind. Hell nah. That's crazy. Y'all just caught up on taking trips. Y'all go to Jamaica and stay your ass on that resort. Don't go off that resort, man.
Right.
You start messing around
Haiti
off that
too.
resort.
Haiti, Jamaica.
Haiti, listen. Don't even go to Haiti right now. I don't care what's going on. It's entirely too dangerous right now. Right? People thinking things are sweet out of the country. It ain't sweet, man. These people are living in poverty. But in Dubai, they're not living in any poverty. But they're not playing about their laws.
You know, they arrest you. Like, it's a major penalty for you to even get, like, a foreclosed or your car repoed. You're going to jail for that.
Not paying your bills.
It's like, but it was like five, like, it was some crazy number that they gave you for, like, just not paying your bills, bro.
Any place that has laws like that, you probably shouldn't travel, and it's halfway across the goddamn world. Brittany Griner could not bring her damn weed pen to Russia. Are you kidding me? Our people are crazy as hell, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy as hell.
We're talking about a country that the neighbors to the west, Saudi Arabia, are from the old school. What does that mean, Alzon? They're really from the old school. They will cut your fucking head off.
Listen. I'm going to show you how much Saudi Arabia is from the old school. In WWE, there is a wrestler named Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is part Syrian. He is not allowed to travel to Saudi Arabia with the WWE to perform in Saudi Arabia because he's part Syrian. That's how they doing it. I like it. Don't get that twisted. I love it. But according to the standards of the rest of this world, that would be an archaic, a barbaric, a savage, a racist, a bigoted thing, right? Our people aren't even paying attention to how serious that is. To being saying, oh, you're mixed with what? You're not allowed here. in a whole country. That's cold.
Yeah, it's bro. To this day, you go to Saudi Arabia, you are liable to see a motherfucker get stones thrown at them till they die,
Decapitated,
and you want to go.
acid. They done hit women with. There's dudes who to punish their wife for adultery didn't kill them, hit her with acid.
Yeah,
Wow.
and here you go, bringing your nigga ass over there, want to yell at somebody. You out of your fucking mind?
This ain't America, man. That is not America where you, this whole concept of that women have, and I'm not going to propagate the stigmatization of black women. All women know that they raise a fuss against people in the service industry when they are not having things their way. All races of women do it, right? That idea that's been propagated here in America, that raise a fuss to get your way at a particular, you know, at any business, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a car rental, where it's anywhere, that don't fly everywhere. And you better learn to get acquainted with understanding that you're not in America no more. She's in a land of not the Wizard of Oz. She's in a land of Aladdin, the Arabian Nights, magic carpets, and all kind of stuff, baby. You better act like it.
And then what was crazy is, how do you feel about the family reaching out because of that? Like,
Man, we need to let her out. No, she broke the law.
What the fuck did you, man?
You don't get to break the law. You do the crime, you do the time.
Yeah. That remind me of when Dave Chappelle said, "Nobody takes black hostages." Man, look, man, because you know what I'm saying. He said, "Hello, we've got 5 black." Nobody gives a fuck about you niggas sending no goddamn some email to them or crying to them. Let her go, man. They don't give a fuck about that. Them people will kill you.
DJ Esco is Future's DJ. Future got bread. If he still had to do his little 2 months, then damn it, I don't listen. Women can't yell here. Period.
I bet you shut your motherfucking ass
so
up.
the situation was actually, she left something in the car, in the rental car that she had.
And they were charging her to retrieve it, right?
Basically.
Hey, that's their policy. Like, you do realize that they have a right to have their own policies, right? You don't have to like it, but in order to get I don't have to give you your belongings back. This is all American entitlement. You think you're in America still. You not. You not. And you got to understand that.
So what's going on with Bricc Baby and the Rolling 60s turning against him? I didn't get to listen too much into that.
Well, what's going on is Bricc Baby, you know, he got out of jail a little while ago. He was doing a couple years. During the time of his incarceration, his little homie killed one of his best friends, which is Nipsey Hussle, and, you know, was prosecuted, charged with murder, and sent to prison for the murder of Nipsey Hussle. Now, Cowboy was there when Nipsey Hussle was killed. Cowboy testified against Eric Holder in his trial. And there's tension between Cowboy and Bricc Baby. And now another prominent Rolling 60 figure has kind of rose into the internet, which is a man by the name of 600. What do you call him, Mr. Lovejoy?
Yeah.
Christopher Lovejoy?
Yeah.
The brother 600. So, I mean, essentially what we have is a further deterioration of, you know, the hoods, the gangs, the sets, because we have, you know, favoritism, we have respected persons, nepotism, all that happening. You know, they mad at Bricc Baby because Bricc Baby is, you know, the big homie of, you know, Eric Holder. Bricc Baby is Lil Shitty, from what I understand. Eric Holder is Big Shitty from 6-0. You know, the 6-0s are a large gang, arguably the largest black gang in Los Angeles. So the 60s aren't turning against Bricc Baby, but there's older guys, right? We saw Cowboy, which is, so, and even to give, I forgot a part of the context. So essentially, Bricc Baby's little homie killed Cowboy's little homie, right? Cowboy is Big Thundercat, and Nipsey is Lil Thundercat. Bricc Baby is Lil Shitty. Eric Holder is Baby Shitty, right? So essentially, one of them killed the other one's little homie. And you got certain older dudes. Big Cat was kind of involved in this as well, as far as the internet goes. And essentially, you know, this really ain't nobody business, but they put it on the internet, so they made it everybody business. You know, I'm not from Rolling 60s. I'm part of those politics, but you know, they done made it everybody business now. So we all could kind of commentate on it. It's unfortunate. You know, at the end of the day, there's rules to this street shit, there's rules to this gang shit. And one of the rules is you don't tell on people. That's a rule. I didn't hear of any exceptions in the handbook when they put me on or put anybody I know on for why somebody could take the stand on behalf of the prosecution to get anybody incarcerated, let alone a fellow member of their gang.
So basically, Cowboy.
Cowboy, right? People start calling him Thunder Rat. It's cold because Cowboy is being very dishonest. Cowboy knows as well as I do, as well as people who were in the streets of Southern California know, that there are various rolling 60s that hold a philosophy that you're not a 60 until you kill a 60. So he's attempting to use the fact that Eric Holder killed a homie, a 60, as justification for taking a stand. But 60s kill 60s. Eric Holder ain't the first 60 to kill a 60. I ain't see people taking a stand on them for that. You know, in my camp, I got a 6-0 in my camp. And before he found his truth of being a Hebrew Israelite, he was on the verge of crashing out because of a backdoor situation within the 60s. I ain't going to put names out there because that's not on the internet. That's some street shit. So we're going to leave it where it's at. But I know who it is. And I know the rumors swirling about who did what. And, you know, that was an inside job from what rumor is saying. Nobody took a stand on that situation, though. Right? So there is no justification. And if you are justifying it now, what you've done, Cowboy, is you've betrayed every member of Rolling 60s that came in after you. All your young homies that you've came in after you. Why? Because you, just like G homies from any hood, have given us rules, regulations, instructions, told us that this shit's supposed to go one way, and you threw that away because of your feelings in an instance. When younger niggas up under you have done that, they've died, they've gone to jail, been stabbed to death, they've been ridiculed, they've been ostracized, outcast from their hood, having to go to SNY yards, PC yards, 50-50 yards, over shit like that. Right? All that's happened. But now you get to do it because the person who was your meal ticket or that you like is the victim of the crime. And that's bullshit. That's respective persons that the Bible talks about.
So
a snitch is supposed to go, period. We not supposed to tell. It don't matter what the situation was. You did it. So with you now changing the rules, you have now you've essentially admitted to that you've misled, lied to, and stolen the lives of every Rolling 60 that came in after you. Period.
So, basically with this situation, what is he saying the reason they're turning against him? Only because of that? Or is it because Bricc Baby is standing on what his little homie did?
Well, he's not even standing on it. All he's saying is that this is his little homie, but he did some bullshit and he killed his friend, his other homie. But homies kill homies.
Right.
Niggas is acting like that's a new episode in South LA. Homies kill homies. That happens all the time. Funny shit, crazy, wild shit. It happens all the time. But it's because it's Nipsey and because I believe that it's Cowboy's meal ticket that's why Cowboy's upset. Because of what Nipsey was getting ready to, the doors that he was getting ready to open for him on a financial level and the attention that he was bringing to the Rolling 60s and the monetization opportunities that were coming for the Rolling 60s because of the light that Nipsey Hussle was bringing. So that's what I think.
So Eric Holder basically killed Nipsey for bro saying that he's a snitch, right?
Well, that's what Cowboy says, but I've definitely heard otherwise, and I don't believe that's what happened in that situation. I believe something else happened.
You want to talk on that?
Well, because I mean, Big U, it is the Rolling 60s as far as the OG face of the 60s on a historical level. Said that there was never any rumors that Eric Holder was a snitch. and there was never any paperwork out saying Eric Holder was a snitch. So I don't believe that was the reason for that happening at all. I think that that's bullshit.
Why do you think it happened?
I think that the disagreement could have possibly been over Eric Holder might have had a certain job and position with Nipsey, and he may have got dismissed from that position, and maybe Eric didn't like that. That's possible. I've heard that. I'm inclined to believe that. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think it was the snitch thing for sure. I don't think it was that.
So, okay. So, basically, the brother Bricc Baby and the brother Cowboy, this is all basically predicated between them two. It's really just not other niggas.
Yeah, there's certain other niggas because this is how you go, especially when you have a, like, for example, Bricc did a post, and big up to my brother Bricc too. He did a post the other day, right? I'm gonna show you, or I'm gonna read it real quick, cause he said a lot with this post, right? He said a lot with this post, right? So he did a post and he hashtag Gutter Hills. So when he's doing that, he's letting you know certain things, right? So he's from Overhill 60. That's a section of the Rolling 60s. But the Gutter, that's another section, like a younger section of the Rolling 60s. So when he put Gutter Hills, he's kind of sending a message as to who's rocking with him. Mm-hmm. When Cowboy's saying what he's saying, he's showing certain older dudes and who's on his side. Mm-hmm. So I really kind of think it's really an older versus younger thing that's going on, an older 60 versus a younger 60 thing going on.
And that personally really ain't gonna matter because these young niggas not respecting
young niggas run this shit anyway. This is no country for old men. It's a young nigga game, period. You know, so it's really just, you know, Thundercat or Cowboy and, you know, whoever he got with him, older guys.
So boom. So all right, let's say if this thing do blow up, who do you think the face of the 6-0 at that point, as far as for the young niggas, Bricc Baby?
Well, no, just because he's not. I mean, maybe on a on like an industry level, because you know he's taking himself out of the streets and stuff like that. So I would think so, and I think maybe Cowboy is attempting to be the face because of course Big U has been the face since people got introduced to Big U. I mean, really Nipsey Hussle was the face, and then Big U was like the older face, and then Nipsey unfortunately passed, so then Big U step in. It's kind of fake, but as far as like the younger face, for sure, Bricc Baby is. I mean, as far as like somebody who's prominently featured that's from Rolling 60s, Bricc Baby.
So Big U ain't came out and said anything about this, or like chose a side, or how do you feel about Cowboy?
I think he has said something. I can't recall what he said, but I believe he said a few things. You see what you said about this? You said some stuff. I can't recall what he said though exactly. He said something about it, but I think it's kind of a divide, old and young. But Bricc Baby identifies Big U as his uncle. You know what I'm saying? But also, Cowboy is Big U's peer, or closer as far as age. They might not be the same age because I know that Cowboy, which is Thundercat, also was Lil Kev Mac, Lil Cal Mac, Lil Kev Mac. So he come up on a Kev Mac, and I think Kev Mac even is younger than Big U. So, but they're closer in age, of course, than him and Bricc, him and the younger guys.
Man, so Big U ain't speak about Cowboy snitching or taking a stand.
You know what?
Because this reminded me of the situation with T.I. and Boosie. How T.I. took the stand. Boosie is a dude who stand on never taking a stand, and he's best friends with him. And when that situation with him saying that on his podcast and them blowing up, they kind of almost ended their friendship. So I'm trying to see, like you said, bro, the street rules is
it's just
altered.
Fucked up. it's just crazy because now niggas are just changing the rules all the time. Like, that's why I'm just glad I'm not a part of this shit no more, and I'm moving with the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, because this shit is bullshit. The streets is over with. It's dead. These kids are literally signing up for nothing at this point.
Just to kill.
And this is why this is what make Cowboy so full of shit for real. Is the fact that you done brought people into this shit, this 6-0 shit. We don't tell on people. We do this, we do that. And then you violate that. On top of that, he's also a registered sex offender. Cowboy is. Now, he alleges that the circumstance for the situation was not that he intended to sexually offend anybody, but I think allegedly in the act of him snatching the girl's chain off, he scratched her breast, and that led him to be registered as a sex offender. I don't know. All I know is these are things that niggas are supposed to get killed for. Telling and sex offense. You're supposed to get killed for that. So you got two of those things on your jacket, right? And even if you can explain away the sex offense, there is no explaining going and telling on anybody, let alone your homeboy, your little homeboy. He not my homie. He's from Rolling 60s, bro. He is from listen, bro. We come from the streets of Southern California. We know the rules. You can dislike somebody. This is the type of shit that used to happen. I remember this vividly. It's a dude from Westside Paru, I know, right? I asked him about another dude from Westside Paru who I was having a problem with at the time. And the response was, I mean, he from the set, that's the homie. So when somebody responds like that,
I don't fuck with him, but I fuck.
Yeah,
but
I don't. He is a member of my gang. I don't fuck with dude though. So you can dislike Eric Holder, Lewis Baby Shitty rather, all you want. He is a Rolling 60. You can be mad. You can hate what he did all you want. He is a Rolling 60. You know what Rolling 60s do? They kill Rolling 60s. Yeah. There's Rolling 60 that kill. It just is what it is. That happens. So you don't get to say that ain't the homie no more because he killed your little homie.
Because he killed your meal ticket, baby.
He killed your meal ticket. You signed up for some bullshit. You signed up for a death style, becoming any gang member, right? You don't get to stop liking people, or no, not to stop liking people.
Because of certain niggas.
You can stop liking them, but he don't get to not be a part of this bullshit because he did some bullshit. Bullshit propagates bullshit. Murder propagates murder. Guess what? If he would have killed the Hoover, he would have killed the Inglewood family, he would have killed the Brim, you wouldn't feel that way. Now, would you? No. He's just doing what we do, man. We don't like them niggas. Well, the 60s don't like each other neither. Right? A lot of them. First off, that gang is too big for everybody to like each other and get along. To be serious. That shit crazy as hell. So you don't get to do that because you have betrayed every member of the Rolling 60s that came in after you from allowing them to sign up for something and giving them rules and regulations and saying fuck them rules predicated upon your feelings. This is a testament to the lack of leadership that we have. Even in this, we don't have leadership as a people, bro. We are destroyed right now. And it's shit like this that is a further testament and example to that. This nigga gets to break the rules and it's all right. That's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit.
So let me ask you a street question because I found out, like, once I heard about the Young Dolph and Straight Drop situation, and this is going to go into my question about this, right? Because Straight Drop is a registered rapist.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Okay, I heard
like, he had a girl at gunpoint and made her have sex with him. Mm-hmm. And when I started to realize, like, hold on, so let me look up this dude. Let me look up this dude. Let me look up this dude. A lot of these niggas are registered sex offenders. Mm-hmm. Wasn't there a thing about something like that as far as, you know.
A rule?
Yeah, a rule.
Yeah.
What would be the rule that they're breaking as far as their code? Because I never heard that in any type of rule.
Well, like, in California, especially the Southsiders, the Mexicans, the Southern California Mexicans, they have very strict rules and regulations as to that. And their rules are if they ever have the opportunity to do violence on somebody who's a sex offender, they have an obligation to do violence. You know, when I was incarcerated in the county of San Diego, we had a system, mainline, blue band, PC, yellow band, sex offender, red band. So it was a dude with a red band, and we had seen him. He was walking. They had to put us in the cell. This was at court, and you know they got to get everybody in the cell to move them around. And I just remember the SA staring at him, and he said it like, if I had an opportunity, I would have to get him. That's how we get down. Blacks have, we have a similar thing, but what happens is, depending on who you are, your status, your rank, and the details of the situation, you could circumvent that and you could be in general population. Meaning, let's say a nigga was 19, he had a little girlfriend that was 16, her parents called statutory rape. If he got enough status, he could explain that away. And of course, we would look at that situation and go, well, I mean, he didn't rape somebody. You could be a junior in high school, meet a freshman, graduate. She's still. These things happen.
Yeah.
That's not the same as forcing somebody to have sex with you, or that's not the same as touching a little girl. That's not the same, right? We're now getting on a potential slippery slope. We're now getting close to some shit, but it's not quite there yet, right? Okay, cool. So then you have certain situations, but like situations like that where somebody could try to explain away the situation. So those certain people will get a pass based on that.
Based on that, yeah.
Something like that. If something like that happened and they're able to convince people, and you got enough status, you can circumvent that and be mainline. But that's not for everyone. Some people ain't hearing that shit at all, and they're gonna terminate. You know what I mean? They're gonna terminate you. At least beat your ass. Do what's called rolling you up, meaning do what King Von force you to do what King Von did, basically. Say, man, I gotta go to protective custody. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's really how that's supposed to happen.
So
but sex offenders ain't supposed to be functioning with niggas in general. Hell no.
So what's crazy?
And that go for black, white, other, Latino, all that. That's the rules across the board.
Okay, cool. So what about on the streets though?
On the streets, it's supposed to be a sex offender and a snitch are in the same boat. On the streets, they're not supposed to be messed with. They're supposed to be ostracized, alienated, all that for sure.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So when you're dealing with the situation with, I keep forgetting bro name.
Who?
The Chicago old head.
The Chicago old head?
J-Man?
J-Man.
That's
his name. He 42, 43.
Who you talking about 42, 43?
He's talking about J-Man.
Hold on, well, who is this dude?
You talking about big folks?
Yes.
Okay.
Boom.
Uh-huh.
So he was Rooga got pissed off at Adam 22. He was like, well, how about you being a pedophile? So Adam was like some old tweets that I said, and Big Folk ended up saying to Rooga, you got the same case, nigga.
I never heard that about Rooga. And my thing is, if you got a problem, because it was funny, because Milk 74, shout out Milk 74, he did a video. You know what he said? He said that Rooga did the ultimate Jekyll move. So for the record, Milk 74 has a rating system. If you're a goofy ass nigga, you're a Gilligan. But when you the ultimate, he upgrades you to Jekyll. You now become a Jekyll, right? And because Rooga, you don't get to talk about Adam 22 being a pedophile because you're mad at him right after you do an interview with him. If you felt that way about him, don't sit down and do an interview with him. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but then for big folks to bring, now I don't have any knowledge of Rooga having anything like that, but that would be crazy if he would do that, because that would be looked at as hypocritical.
So yeah, on this Instagram live, Big Folks said, hey, you got the same case, nigga, when he brought it up.
That's crazy as hell.
So we had to do some research on that.
Yeah, we got to do our homework on the Whoop. I know a young lady that went to school with him. I'll definitely try to ask and figure that out, because I would hate for that to be true about Rooga.
Well, that's it on the topics, man. Y'all got anything in closing?
Subscribe or go to hell. That's it. Simple.
All praises, man. Shalom.
And with that, shalom.
Shalom.